When I started Logan, I thought, my natural, in my mind, I thought, my dad's this great pastor. He'd been pastoring for 40 years. He went to seminary. I never spoken in public. I'd never been to seminary, but yet I stepped up to pastor. And in my mind, it said, Joel, you're not qualified. You're too shy. You're not as dynamic as your father. You don't have that big voice. You don't know the Bible. All those things were just playing in my mind, 24 hours a day. And man, I had to, take control of that and say, you know what? No, I believe I'm who God says I am, that I'm equipped, that I'm empowered, that I'm raised up to do this. And I believe that battle takes place here in our mind to step into the dreams that God has for us. Because, I talk to people, there's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of stuff that comes against us. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not big enough. I'm not, you got to tune that out, because I believe every person has what they need to fulfill their purpose. God's put in each one of us. And I can't be like my dad. My dad was a better preacher than me. He was more fiery. But you know what? God gave me a gift of, I'm more easygoing. I'm more talking about life. But, I don't say this bragging on me, but, I've expanded it many, God's expanded it and helped us to expand many times for what my father saw.
What would you say to somebody drawing from your own experience is the tactical way out of that self-doubt?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's a process that you just have to, day by day, almost thought by thought. I think first off, you have to identify it. That we all have an inner dialogue. We're always talking to ourselves, and I found that many people don't realize their dialogue is negative. They don't realize that it's just, I'm not as smart as my sister, and I'm not that talented, and, you can do that because you got all this, gifts. We tend to put ourselves down. I don't think we know it. I think the first thing is to think about what you're thinking about, because you talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody else. And I really believe you believe yourself more than you believe what others say. Even if somebody's criticizing, I still think you come back and I like this thought. You have enough people in life against you. Don't be against yourself. Don't have that recording. I mean, when I would get up on Sunday morning, I would have to force myself to say, Joel, just turn it around. You're equipped. You're well able. These people like you. You're going to do good. Everybody's here to listen. Because my other thought was, nobody wants to hear you. You're not trained. You're not like your dad. So I just had to. It's a process of turning it off. I think it's just, if you can identify it, and then, what? I have this, we say at every service, I have this, this phrase that we say, and it's just what I say, this is what God says. It's, I'm blessed, I'm prosperous, I'm redeemed, I'm forgiven, I'm talented, I'm creative, I'm disciplined, I'm focused, I'm prepared, I'm qualified, I'm motivated, I'm valuable, I'm free, I'm equipped, I'm empowered, I'm anointed. I'm not average. I'm not mediocre. I'm a child of the Most High God. I will become all He's created me to be. We say that every service. I have people say that. And it's not just being positive. It's getting in agreement to me with who God says you are. Otherwise, I don't know, life can push us down. I think the flip side of this, Logan, is people say, well, I'm not all those things. But I believe as you continue to say it, you're inviting it into your life.
I was just about to say, because a lot of the adjectives that you're saying are like really powerful, like multidisciplinary, life-altering characteristics that people can have and that aren't always easy. I mean, discipline, motivated,
Yes.
like some people, I think generally like can lack those things.
Yes.
But if you're saying it over and
Speaking
over
it
and over.
into
Yeah,
existence.
you're literally manifesting it. Like I'm a big believer in manifestation and just vocalizing your desires or your beliefs about yourself into existence. And so I do agree, and I love that you say that every day, because eventually you're going to find that maybe I check off actually a majority of that list of things.
I love that because it's in the Scripture. The Scripture says, life and death are in the power of our tongue, and a lot of the positive principles you can find from the Scripture. It is so important. You can't talk defeat and live negative, and you can't talk against yourself. It's going back into you, and I believe those words are powerful, and it's just what you're saying, as you continue to say it, you're going to get more disciplined. You're going to get more focused. And even, I see people that are fighting sicknesses. I have he's over it now, but I have a friend that was fighting cancer. he wouldn't let us use the word cancer around him. He said, don't say that word. Don't say that word. He said, just, say. And I thought, and I teach to people too, don't say my addiction or my diabetes or my heart trouble. Don't take ownership of it. It's just see yourself as a healthy person fighting off sickness, not a sick person trying to get well. Just that thing. But I speak a lot on the power of our words, and my dad was good on that, but it's really important. And that helped me too. I'd get in front of a mirror when my dad died, never preached before, and I'm going to stand up in front of 6,000 people on a Sunday morning. And I can't sleep at night, and I'm so nervous, and I have to hold the podium. But I'd have to go look in the mirror and say, Joel, you're strong, you're equipped, you're empowered. And I know it sounds weird, but man, I say this, if you don't talk to yourself, somebody else will talk to you. Yourself will talk to you. Your own thoughts will talk to you. So I think you have to get control of that. And I know people can take it wrong. I'm not saying in a weird way, like, hey, I'm going to be the president or I'm going to be on WWE. I don't mean that. I mean, but, what are the dreams God's put in your heart? Don't go around saying, I can't ever become a minister. I can't ever start my own business or, even these things. I'll never be able to afford that. You're speaking defeat over your life. Maybe, how about this? I can't afford it right now, but maybe one day I can. Or my child's never going to get well. I mean, he's so far off course. You're speaking defeat. Don't speak defeat, speak life and speak victory. Even if it's, hey, Mike's off course right now, but I know, you know what? God's working. God's doing things in his life. But I don't know. And some people say it's just positive, but I believe it's different than that. It's speaking life and faith and victory into your future. And so it's a big part of who we are and a big part of what Lakewood's all about.
I love that. It's such a great message. Him and his brother are like two testaments to manifestation. I have never been very good at it, but I saw a neuroscientist. I watched a video last week that said the brain acts like a social media algorithm, and the more you feed it or like and get a dopamine burst out of it and feed into that negative, I can't, it serves you more of it.
Yeah.
And I think the problem that a lot of people have when he brought up discipline is the process that you're talking about in changing over to more positive self-speak is unfortunately a little bit of work.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of work, but it's work that can go further than any other work that you could ever do in your life because it can lead you to such incredible places. So it's just really getting over that hump.
Yeah, that's so good, Mike. I heard this saying too, the pain of discipline is less than the pain of regret. So to me, there's going to be pain either way. There's going to be pain of discipline, getting up, doing what I know I'm supposed to do, working hard, being nice to somebody that's not nice to me, doing the right thing when the wrong thing's happening. That's discipline too. But, the pain of regret is, I didn't go after my dreams, or I have a lousy relationships, or I don't like myself. And so I think it's, I'm not saying any of this is easy and it didn't happen without, work and long nights and all that. You guys know about that. But I just think when you tap into that discipline, doing the right thing when it's hard, the payoff's so much better. Because, like I said, there's going to be pain the other way of just, I'm not who I'm supposed to be.
Hey there, Impaulsive viewer. If you like that clip, check out another one just somewhere around this video screen.